The Civil Service Commission is guiding workers who will be affected by the government rightsizing initiative. How will the job security of these workers be ensured? MJ Mondejar has the details.
Exactly a month ago, President Bongbong Marcos convened his cabinet to further advance the government rightsizing program. Under this initiative, the government will reduce its workforce across its agencies. This entails implementing reskilling and upskilling programs for government personnel. This effort aims to reduce manpower costs and eliminate redundant or overlapping positions. If an employee cannot be transferred to another agency, they might face demotion. And if neither of those options is feasible, termination from their position might be a possibility. However, there's no need to worry, according to the Civil Service Commission. CSC Chairman Carlo Alexi Nograles assures that the job security of all those affected by rightsizing is guaranteed.
Dito sa pag-finalize ng right-sizing law, in-ensure naman po natin na yung security of tenure and protection ng ating mga workers ay nandun pa rin.
In fact, Nograles mentioned the appropriate job placements will be sought for those impacted by the program.
So ganun din po mangyayari sa right-sizing, no? Pag mag-reorganize to make sure na yung mga pag gumawa ng mga bagong posisyon ay mabibigyan po ng first priority, no, ang mga nandun na sa loob na mga nagtatrabaho na sa organisasyon or sa government office na yan, na mabigyan silang comparable position.
Rightsizing was not mentioned in President Marcos' 2023 State of the Nation address, although it was one of his mandates under the National Government Rightsizing Program, or NGRP, in his 2022 SONA.
The NGRP will entail a comprehensive strategic review of the functions, operations, organization, system, and processes of the different agencies, and massive and transformational initiatives in agencies concerned, such as mergers, consolidations, splitting, transfer, and even the abolition of some offices. The right-sizing efforts will also involve the conduct of a comprehensive strategic review of functions, programs, and projects that will cut across various agencies.
According to Nograles, the government will ensure that employees who choose to leave the government due to rightsizing will receive separation pay rather than participate in the initiative.
So yun yung first step, no, that make sure na may malalagay sila sa comparable position. At mabigyan din po sila ng option na kung ayaw naman po nilang magpatuloy, ay meron silang matatanggap na separation pay. Yun naman ang nakalagay, no, sa mga provisions ng rightsizing.
As of now, the administration is finalizing the final version of the rightsizing program with key efforts from key government agencies. For Ganimabulong Philippines, MJ Mondejar, SMNI News.
The military junta of Niger has revoked the mandates of 4 of its diplomatic representatives a week after it staged a coup to oust Nigerian President Mohamed Bazoum. Meanwhile, Bazoum pleaded with the West for help to defeat the Nigerian military. Virgil Parba reports.
The military junta, led by General Abdurrahman Chani, recently declared the authority of diplomats representing France, Togo, Nigeria, and the United States as terminated. The announcement came as ousted Nigerian President Mohamed Bazoum penned an article in Washington Post on Thursday asking the U.S. government to intervene. Bazoum labeled the coup as unjustified and sought international help to combat the military junta. He referred to earlier praise from U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and described Niger with him in power as the last bulwark against the influence of Russia in the region of Sahel. Bazoum expressed concern over the rise of movements in neighboring countries such as Mali and Burkina Faso, employing the Russian paramilitary Wagner Group, which is known for its tactics in Ukraine. Notably, absent from Bazoum's letter was any mention of Niger's significant uranium exports to former colonial power France. The junta is reportedly playing on anti-Western sentiment and has announced that they were removing agreements with France and the U.S., under which both countries retain about 2,500 of their troops in Niger. The Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS, a 15-country regional bloc, issued an ultimatum last week demanding Bazoum be reinstated and that member states may otherwise use force. But the junta remains undeterred. General Chani condemned ECOWAS sanctions and vowed to respond with force to any outside intervention. He also banned uranium and gold exports to France. The junta has also indicated that it considers neighboring Mali and Burkina Faso to be friendly nations. To recall, Mali and Burkina Faso issued a joint communique warning that any military intervention against Niger would also amount to a declaration of war against them. And on Wednesday, Niger General Salifou Moudi, one of the military officers who seized powers to oust Bazoum, visited Mali amid speculations of possible interest in the Wagner Group, noting that hundreds of Wagner forces are stationed in Mali. Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin also lauded the coup and ordered his services to Niger. Meanwhile, an ECOWAS delegation visited Niger's capital Niamey this week to negotiate a possible resolution to the crisis. According to African media, the talks failed on Thursday. Reporting, this has been Verhil Parba, Azmina News.
The Prime Minister of India has accepted his South African counterpart's invitation to attend the upcoming BRICS summit this August. Carlo de la Peña tells us more.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has confirmed his participation in the 15th BRICS summit scheduled to be held in Johannesburg, South Africa from August 22 to August 24. The decision was announced following a telephone conversation between Prime Minister Modi and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa on Thursday. During the call, the two leaders discussed various regional and global issues of mutual interest and expressed satisfaction with the progress in bilateral cooperation between India and South Africa. The announcement comes after recent media reports that the Indian Prime Minister might not participate in person. To recall, various media outlets reported that the government of India was weighing having Modi attend the meeting virtually, considering the geopolitical developments that would see Russian President Vladimir Putin addressing the summit online. But on Thursday, India's spokesperson for External Affairs Ministry, Arindam Bagchi, refused to comment on the issue and told reporters not to believe in speculative media reports. It can be noted that in July, Russia announced that Putin would participate in the BRICS summit virtually, and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov would represent him in person. Meanwhile, Putin is set to visit Turkey as announced by the office of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan on Wednesday, although the office did not provide a specific date. The Kremlin confirmed the talks, noting that both presidents agreed to maintain bilateral contact on multiple levels. Putin and Erdogan reached an agreement on a visit by the Russian president to Turkey. Both leaders also reportedly talked about the Black Sea grain deal. On the other hand, Russia is working to establish secure routes to supply the most vulnerable countries to provide free Russian grain. According to the Kremlin, the matter was raised at the Russia-Africa summit last week. The Kremlin also said Putin had expressed willingness to cooperate with Turkey and other interested countries regarding the matter. Reporting, this has been Carlo de la Peña, SMNI News.